G'day everyone, welcome back to another round of Wheel to Wheel racing. Tonight we are here at the beautiful Nürburgring GP circuit for our round 5 event here. So we'll have back to our sprint round format. Should be a very exciting race, 2 reverse grids and one that requires a medium tyre requirement. Should be very, very exciting. Plenty of fast people in here tonight. Joining me in the commentary box is Queensland Devil Racer.
Thanks, Super Dragon.
And on the visuals, we have Dodgy.
Yeah, thanks, Super Dragon. Glad to be here for yet another fantastic night in these awesome little 86s. Expecting a huge race here tonight with these guys. Actually, there's some pretty exciting people in here. ZD for one of them. I think I'm more excited to see what he texts while he drives rather than he's actually racing. But we'll see how we go. Let's get it on.
Yeah, definitely ZD, one to keep an eye on for multiple reasons. But we've also got Jonesy and Suitlad, some very, very quick guys in here tonight. We've got Tate as well, who's shown some pretty decent pace. Das Patron as well, our international driver from Argentina, is a bit of a wild card still, trying to find where he sits throughout Div 2, so it should be really exciting. There's plenty of other names I could list off that could potentially be towards the top end of the lobby as well.
Yeah, and Flat Out Racing are the only team that aren't represented in our split tonight. Sunday's Casuals dominating that part of it with 4 of their drivers. In fact, Stefko's the only Sunday's Casuals driver not in the race in split 3 tonight.
There you go. So plenty of people going to be wanting that top qualifying spot here tonight as well. It's a very, very important place to be starting near the front with the chaos that Turn 1 can bring.
And it's a difficult track to overtake on, particularly in these cars, because they are so closely matched. A lot of the time you're really just waiting for the driver in front of you to just make a mistake, run a little bit wide and capitalise on it. But there certainly aren't a lot of opportunities here to force the issue, fairly anyway.
Yeah, definitely. It's a track that's going to take a lot of commitment under brakes if you want to get them moves done. Big spots to be able to do it. Definitely Turn 1 and the third last corner, the chicane, right at the end of that long sweeping straight. Probably a chance at getting something done into the hairpin as well.
Yeah, and the straights on the track they're not long enough really for the slipstream to have a massive effect. So in order to make a move at the end of those long straights, you really do have to capitalise on the exit from the corner beforehand to be better than the guy in front of you. Because the slipstream is just not going to give you the help that it does on tracks with longer straights.
Yeah, definitely. As we see the Summernats going on down in Turn 1 as per usual in these lobbies once everyone starts to get a little restless right before the race start. Everyone having a nice little burnout competition down there. But yeah, it should definitely be an exciting round. In these 86s, it is really tough to pass with all of these cars being so similar. Or being identical, I should say.
Yeah, that's right. And we have at the moment, Broken Spoke is up from Division 4. So he's promoted himself this week due to some good results. But this split is stacked with Division 1, 2 and 3 drivers at the moment. So we're going to see, and what I have noticed over the last few weeks is everyone in Division 2 is good enough to fill a spot in Division 1. Everyone in Division 3 is good enough to fill a spot in Division 2. And the fact that we're only spread really over 3 divisions here is going to enable, it's going to cause a lot of tight racing.
Yeah, definitely. These one thing that I've loved to see throughout the kind of seasons of Wheel to Wheel is that the difference between the lobbies has been getting a lot closer. As we've seen, some people who were Div 1 regulars when I started now bumped down to Split 2, Split 3 as we've got more guys who have got some pace come in and take some top spots over, and the skill gap between everyone is getting less and less as well. So it's really awesome to see.
Yeah, so who's your prediction tonight, Super Dragon? We've got two Division 1 drivers, being Tate and Jonesy. So you would have to put them into the mix, but is there a dark horse there that you're keeping an eye on?
Yeah, look, I definitely think Jonesy's one to keep an eye on. I've seen some really good pace out of Mid-Risky in recent rounds, so he could be one to watch. Spence off the reverse grids can be quite good as well. And then we've also got Dust Patron, who we haven't quite seen, I think, a good clean round from him to indicate his pace to us, as far as I know, so...
Yeah, well, certainly Mid-Risky was very dominant last round out in the 86s in Japan. Showed his pace there with a very clean run and gapped the field in, I think, every race, wasn't it? So he's certainly earned a spot in a higher split. And racing from Division 3, we'll be looking to show Jonesy, Tate of Division 1, and the other guys from Division 2 that he's got the pace to be there.
Yeah, definitely. As we're just dealing through some lobby setting issues. Yeah, and we should be underway for qualifying shortly.
We do have a lot from Div 3 in this race, actually. The top three are Madrisky, Corbin, and Spence. Then you've got Untouchables and Evil Ones. So the top 5 out of Div 3 are all in this race. And I believe pretty much the next 5 are all in the lower split race, so Split 3. So Div 3 is basically split in two between these two splits, which is very interesting to note.
Yeah, and it shows the closeness between the splits too. So to graduate from Split 3 to Split 2 takes it would take a number of rounds of good results. You can't just get up there with one good race. And it's good to see Broken Spoke, who is Div 4. He's graduated himself up into Split 2 tonight. So huge effort.
Yeah, Broken Spoke showed some really good pace towards the end of last season as well. But wasn't able to do enough on the leaderboards to get him up higher in the standings. But I definitely think he's someone who could be on the Div 3 leaderboards, if not the bottom end of Div 2. But as we said, a lot of people can be exchanged from the top end of certain lobbies to the bottom end of others and fit in fairly nicely and still compete well, so...
Super Dragon, do you happen to have the Div 2 leaderboard with you at all?
I do.
We're just having a little, as usual, GTS technical glitch at the moment. The room has shut down on us. They've just knocked out the lobby and they're going to start again. So I've got the Div 2 leaderboard up if you want to run through it for the guys at the moment.
Yeah, no problem. So, the Div 2 leaderboard at the moment is currently led by Rex Buckingham, I believe taking the week off this week. Is Rexy, unless he's in Div 1, I wasn't able to catch that.
No, he's off.
We've also got Ando and Showman, who have found their place pretty regularly in Div 1, followed by Dale and Tombo, who are in similar situations. Then we have Suitlad in 6th in Div 2, who is right at the pointy end of our lobby tonight. Followed by Cloakade and ZD. So those three very close on points, and they're separated by about 100 points. And then below them is Ben, who is not racing tonight. Neither is Troy, and Scooter, who is in the E-League. So Div 2 not represented too strongly in the numbers, but Suitlad, Cloakade, and ZD are definitely going to be ones to keep an eye on for it.
Awesome. I've also got the teams one there. Do you have that one at all?
I certainly do. And unfortunately, as I have a look here, I see Shake and Bake is still leading the team's championship to no one way apart from themselves. closely followed by DAM Racing. We're still wondering what those 3 letters could stand for, but not too far behind, about 150 points behind them in second. The Sunday Casuals, Team Milo, bringing in 3rd spot in the team championship. They're a bit of a quiet success, that team. They were last season as well as the leftovers. They kind of just snuck their way up into the team's championship. In 4th place, we have V Corsa. Adam V10's team, that beautiful Miami Vice type vibe coming out of that team. Not too far off the lead, probably not quite where they'd want to be at this point. Then 13R. Our winners from last season, struggling a little bit this season, down in 5th. Marchie's Pit Crew down in 6th, and Flat Out Racing down in 7th. So, yeah, it's there's definitely some good representation from the Sunday Casuals in this lobby, as well as I believe DAM Racing have got a decent few as well.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
we've got we've only got ZD from DAM Racing. But we have Jonesy and Broken Spoke from 13R. Suit Lad's our only representative from V Corsa. And we've also got Tate from Marchie's Pit Crew, with Daz Patron and Hippo, this being the only 2 privateers tonight.
And we can't forget CCH coming in from Shake and Bake too.
Oh no, of course we can't forget.
The unfortunately leading team at the moment. They don't let anyone forget it either. It's like the joy I would hear in Dodgy's voice every time he'd want to bring up the leaderboards last season when 13R were ahead.
Yeah, we'll get there. It's been a bit of a slow start for us this season.
Yeah, it's slow build up, this one.
That's the one.
It's where you finish, not where you start, really. So.
Yeah, so Sunday's Casuals, they certainly have the opportunity to group together here, and well, the thing that's going to kill you here is losing track position, because it is so hard to overtake. If you run it wide, if you put a tyre in the dirt, it's not hard to lose 20 seconds on the rest of the group, and your race is done.
Corbin, I think, might be listening into the stream as he comes back at me there in the race chat. And the qualifying is underway.
Oh, it's a damn shame. So Tate's giving a good display of his drifting at the moment. He's doing well.
These 86s aren't too bad when you get them sideways, to be honest.
All right. So what does the pole time have to be? I think it needs to be in the 203s.
I would assume somewhere there or thereabouts.
We've seen some 202s during the week.
So the Sunday Casuals absolutely leading the run out of the pits too. The first 3 cars on track are all. That's yeah, wow. Well, now that everyone's getting out of the pits, we'll go for a quick run through the lobby and introduce you to every driver as they come around for this outlap in quali. So first on track at the moment is Spence 308 in that beautiful Sunday Casuals Milo livery, closely followed by Evil 177 in that beautiful Sunday Casuals Milo livery.
Yeah, and then right behind them is Mid Risky in, you guessed it, that wonderful Milo livery. Mid Risky's Div 3, and then we've got ZD, who's representing DAM Racing from Div 2 tonight.
Yeah, and then again we have Untouchables in that Sunday Casuals Milo livery, so very, very highly populated by these guys. And Jonesy has the pit glitch, unfortunately. We'll quickly keep running through. We've got Suit Lad from V Corsa, the best colour scheme of the season, I think, there as well.
Yeah, and Tate, he's making a move on him now. Tate Division 1 from Marchie's Pit Crew. Nope, staying right behind him. He'll have the tow down the straight behind Suit Lad. And then we've got Corbin from Shake and Bake in 7th on the track at the moment.
Yep, closely behind him we have Cloakade, a fellow Shake and Bake team member. They could be trying to use a bit of strategy there and use some slipstream. Behind them is Broken Spoke as well.
Yeah,
Indeed,
Broken
but,
Spoke's got a bit of clear track there, and Hippo this
we're gonna get a restart,
is
unfortunately.
also clear.
As everyone
Well,
piles back into the pits, and Jonesy drives into the wall repeatedly, which we absolutely love to see. Oh, he just murdered someone's pit crew as well. Oh, those poor guys. As we wait for everyone to tick out of qualifying so we can try and get underway again.
well, it wouldn't be Gran Turismo with a pit glitch and engine failure or this and that.
You're not wrong.
Have we heard anything about, while we're waiting for qualifying to come back up, have we heard anything? Has the race already been run with Gran Turismo in the Olympics?
I'm not quite sure.
It was run a couple of weeks before. Don't ask me
was it?
who the winner was. I cannot remember, but it was run a couple of weeks ago.
There you go. So, yeah, that's another just incredible thing. Esports becoming part of the Olympics. I guess they thought they're adding surfing and skating, so they may as well just add whatever else applies. Chucked in Gran Turismo.
I was quite happy to announce that I was no longer playing video games. I was training for the Olympics.
Okay, let's cross our fingers and hope we all get out. We've just restarted again.
Time change back and forth. It usually helps get that pit glitch out of the way. Fortunately, with so many people in the lobby, one bad internet connection to another. Oh, and there's a blue screen. And there goes Mr. Zedi, who typed that in chat before he even crashed out of the lobby. There goes Corbin. So this is going to be a bit more of a delay, unfortunately, but we will stick around and hope for the best, I guess.
He's not boding
So once
well.
we do get this qualifying underway, you would think I've seen some low 202s during the week from Split 1 drivers, but I would imagine anywhere in the low 203s here would if it doesn't put you on pole, it would put you at the pointy end.
Yeah, if you can get in the low 203s, I reckon we can see a couple of guys with some high 202s if they put a full lap together. Yeah, definitely should be very close to see if anyone else decides to crash their game on the time change again here. But yeah, should be there goes Jonesy. Should be some very close qualifying I would expect out of these guys.
And then the race pace over 7 laps, which is pretty much a sprint race. You're not adjusting a lot there, so I would imagine the average race pace is somewhere between around the 204s and 05s for these guys.
Apologies. As everyone tries to join back into the lobby, I think it's probably going to be the last shot at it before people start getting left behind if they still get pit glitches. We've got 9 people jumping out on track. It's unfortunate because we had the 2-lap practice race to make sure no one got stuck on the grid and everyone went through the pits to make sure there was no pit glitches, but still decides to happen when we go for the official one, which is...
We're still waiting for Zedi. I know he's in.
I think Jonesy might be the one. No, he's back. Who else?
Is he out?
CCH.
He's out and celebrating.
We're still waiting for Colin to jump back in with us.
Yep.
There it is.
Anyone else? We're also missing Jonesy.
No,
No.
he jumped back in. He got
He's
back
in.
in.
Oh, yeah, yep.
In 7th.
Yep.
Just waiting on Corbin, his New Zealand internet to get back in here.
Yeah, he's got to send it airmail.
Yeah. Even the guy from Argentina gets back in the lobby faster than him. Even though we've got these delays, it still should be a very, very exciting race, and I'm very interested to see where some guys come out of this.
Yeah, look, I'll be watching Broken Spoke. I normally race with him in Split 3, so it's good to see him move up to Split 2, which is where I'd like to see my name by the end of the season in starting a race in Split 2. So it'll be good to watch his pace as he's promoted up through the ranks.
Yeah, he's definitely a good one to watch. Is Broken Spoke.
I think he races on a controller.
No, he's on a wheel, but he's in a wheelchair, so he uses his left hand to steer the steering wheel and uses his right hand for the pedals. Ah,
right.
So, which is an incredible setup to be as fast as he is as well. So we have Corbin finally loading in and ticking in as Untouchables asserts his dominance by driving the wrong way up the start-finish straight.
He was doing that in practice. He was doing laps on the track backwards and said it was a remarkably good track to do backwards. So
I'm hoping since he's paused that we should be getting underway shortly. Just waiting on Corbin to be able to get out of the pits. And he has successfully done so.
Well, while everyone else is doing doughies at turn 1 and having fun, the Sunday's Casuals crew have just been doing lap after lap after lap.
Yep, just quietly in the background, doing their laps, getting more practice in.
Crossed fingers.
All right. Qualifying V2.
And Suit Lad ruins the Sunday Casuals party of having everyone out of the pits first this time around. But he's the only one that ruins that because the next 3 cars on track are all Sunday Casuals. And I can't remember who we got up to last time. I think we were just looking at Broken Spoke in 9th at the moment. I believe we had a look at Corbin. We've got Hippo in that Milwaukee Privateer entry, which is a very nice livery there on that 86.
Yeah, and Jonesy we spoke about. He's one of the 2 Div 1 drivers. And then Daz Patron, our other Privateer, bringing up the rear. And like you said, I don't think we've seen a true indication of his pace yet. So this track is a relatively easy one to learn. I would imagine everyone's had a decent couple of laps at it this week. So hopefully we'll see a good indication of Daz Patron's pace this week because he's shown some good qualifying, but then comes unstuck a bit in the races.
Yeah, and speaking of coming unstuck, Tate has ended up in the wall coming out of the hairpin, so that could be a dangerous sign for the race for him.
Too much practicing of drifting.
But I reckon we could jump on board with Suit Lad here, who's currently first out on track for a beautiful lap of this track from an onboard view for his hot lap.
Go for it, we're on.
So coming through turn 1 at the moment, he's back. No, he's not in turn 1, back.
Coming across the start finish right now.
Yep.
Here he is, he's just approaching the braking marker. That 100 metre board, you really jam it on to get it around that first corner. Some guys are taking first, some second to get it around there. And then this is a really gentle corner to get it round. Slides out if you put it on too early, you end up out in the green. Super Dragon, you want to take it for a few corners?
We'll take on over. Right-hander here, you want to take plenty of curb, use as much of the runoff as you can without losing time here. Bring it up into this left-right section, braking right at the end of the track there, or just after, depending on how brave you are. dropping it down into second for this very tight right-hander and the run down to the hairpin as gets a beautiful exit area.
And through that section under race trim, you'll probably do it in a gear higher, but hard on the brakes into this corner, knocking it back to second. Long sweeping around, and you're patient to put the power on, put it on too early and you're off into the kiddie litter, but then it's full on up through this left-right, don't lift at all, up into fifth gear.
Sitting right on the limiter of fourth, delaying that shift as much as possible, braking on the 100 here, really carrying some speed through, using all the curb on the exit, just a little tap of the brakes and some patience through this right-hander to bring you down towards the kink here.
Yeah, the Michael Schumacher S, and then into the Warsteiner curve. The Advan Bogen straight into the final chicane. So banging on the brakes into second through that left-right. Some people will work up to third, some people will go into fourth here, but then back into second for the final curve, into third and flat.
On that power very early out of that final corner, and we'll see what kind of times. We got a 3 flat, a 3-1 from Untouchables, mid with a 3-7, Spence with a 4-3, probably a rough lap there from Spence, Locate with a 3-1. No time to write home about from either one either. Corbin with a 2-7.
202. Hippo with a 203.5. Jonesy banking the lap at 203.3 from Tate. Broken Spoke and Daz Patron both doing 203.7s.
Yeah, so Corbin really bringing it home as he runs right along the edge of the track limits through the Mercedes-Benz Arena here. With a 202.7, that is a cracking lap time. And I feel like he's really found some pace in the 86s this season. He's had some really good rounds and been really competitive in the 86s, has Corbin.
I think he's found it the last 3 weeks, actually, Corbin. He has done exceptionally well in the last 3 weeks' races. I'm expecting him to be up the pointy end tonight, so fingers crossed.
Yeah, well, he's definitely helping with your expectation there. Current pole sitter of the lobby. But we do have Suit Lad leading the field around again as he comes through this sweeping left-hander. You really see how much of the track limits he uses as well. Gets right into the apex, 2 wheels out onto the curbing on the exit as well. So they're using every bit of track available, and as I look behind him, I just see the 3 Sunday Casuals cars streaming down, the beautiful bright green glow in the distance. One thing I have noticed is through the chicane, not many people taking a lot of curb, which is quite interesting to me, because you can easily make up probably 3 or 4 tenths through there if you absolutely nail it.
Yeah, well, watch for Tate's time this lap. He's got 2 purple sectors. We've also got Zeedy, Jonesy and Spence, who were down 10th, 11th and 12th with a lot of green in theirs. But
Zeedy with a 3-2, big improvement. Complicated with a 2-7. Jumps right up with Corbin. So the Shake and Bake boys with a very good start.
And
to
Tate's
the round.
about to... Tate with a 202.4.
Wow. Jonesy 3 flat as well. Patron with a 3-1. And Broken Spoke coming across the line to finish the qualifying out. Not a great lap on his part. I believe he's had some dramas. But Tate taking out pole position, closely followed by Corbin and Clocade from Shake and Bake.
Okay, who are we on with, lads?
I reckon someone around 5th. I can't remember who that was, but 5th is usually...
Suit Lad.
It is. 5th is usually my preferred spot to keep an eye on. It'll be putting him on the outside for turn 1, so it could go either way for him, really. He could end up going around the outside of a bit of a build-up that comes on the inside of the corner, or he's going to sweep around.
Well, will they get through turn 1 clean?
Here we go. They're away. Tate got a very, very good start there. Corbin's coming straight across and filing in behind him. Suit Lad has gone to the inside, and Untouchable's going to sweep around the outside of him. Ooh, and he's gone around a little bit as Suit Lad. as the rest of the field checks up to avoid him, and he's found himself back in 7th. As Tate leads the field through the Mercedes-Benz Arena. Untouchables is running through the field right now. Gone from 6th to 3rd already in less than half a lap, and is already on to chasing down Corbin.
Yeah, he's just got Cloquet through that last section, and Tate and Corbin at the moment got a bit of a gap on the field, so if they can keep it neat, they could drive away here, but Untouchable's not letting them go. Cloquet right under him, and Jonesy, as that train continues, we have Jonesy, Daz Patron, Suit Lad, Evil One, Zeedy, Spence, all in this long train at the moment. So they've got through the first couple of turns unscathed. We'll see how the next 7 laps unfolds.
Yeah, definitely from 5th through to 13th, separated by 3 seconds, all in that massive train. So definitely some very close racing off the start here. We'll see how everyone goes defending their position or making up moves. As I see, Zeedy's got a 1 second penalty. He's going to lose out big there. As there goes Spence, Hippo, Mid-Risky, and he loses a spot to Broken Spoke as well. So Zeedy all the way back down the back of the field. That's not where you want to be.
No, and penalties could play a big part here because they're pretty severe through that section. But as we go back up to the front of the field, Tate stretching out to an 8/10 lead now. So Corbin out of the draft. And if Tate can keep the hammer down, he could have a nice clean run.
Here comes Cloquet on Untouchables for 3rd. As he pulls alongside, coming into turn 1, probably your best overtaking opportunity on the track. Late on the brakes, can he get it pulled up nicely? Clips the apex, nothing Untouchables can do around the outside there. And away goes Cloquet, taking that 3rd position back.
And Jonesy actually looked like he made a lot of ground under brakes there on Untouchables as well. Jonesy could be having who was that? Daz Patron's run wide.
Yep, and he's lost.
And he's come together with Suit Lad, and Suit Lad has spun.
That is pretty unlucky for Suit Lad there. It's I think he just clipped him right on the apex of the corner, and it decided to turn his nose into the barricade.
I'll just see if I can bring up the replay there. I've got Daz just coming around the corner, going wide, and yeah, it's Suit Lad. He's just pulled back in with his entry in front of Suit Lad, and unfortunately Suit Lad's tapped him in the rear, and that is actually what spun Suit Lad by tapping him in the rear. So unfortunate there for Suit Lad. Maybe a little caution on exercise on caution right there.
Battle for 2nd, one to keep an eye on here as Cloquet disposed of Untouchables earlier on in the lap and is now looking for the move on Corbin. Corbin not giving that up though, and that's bringing Untouchables back into it.
Penalty.
Cloquet sweeps around the outside, opens the door for Untouchables. Untouchables 2 wheels out on the dirt, and now Jonesy's made it 3 wide. Corbin's the big loser here, as he drops 2 spots due to defending.
That's a tough spot to overtake anyone on through that section. Everyone's going to lose out time if it doesn't get done perfectly. But Untouchables.
Jonesy puts the car into the door of Untouchables, and Untouchables is skating out on the grass spectacularly. He's gone for a lap of the 24-hour track. He's well out there now, and that is really, really unfortunate there. So they went side by side through the chicane.
And see what happened. They're coming through around that corner now. They're side by side all the way down the straight. It did look like Untouchables was going to back off a bit, but he hasn't. And I think it might have taken Jonesy by surprise. There didn't seem to be much in it. I think Untouchables has run wide, and Jonesy has just erred on the side of caution and gone, well, I better redress the situation.
Yeah, I think there might have been a small touch, but anyway, we'll move on as Hippo is looking fairly aggressive on the rear bumper of Spence as he tries to play rear gunner for Evil One up in 4th, and there's also Mid-Risky looking to make moves just behind them, having a little look around the outside of Das Patron, who decided to go defensive into these corners here, so plenty of action to be had. Yeah, I think sorry about that. So I think the main cause for Untouchables losing so much time there is he tried to keep his foot in it as he came out of the chicane.
Well, the battle pack at the moment is for third, where Corbin is 6/10 ahead of Evil One, and there's a train behind him at the moment. But Tate doing it easy out front at the moment. He's almost to 3 seconds ahead of Cloakade, and Cloakade 1.8 seconds clear of Corbin, and that big train of cars looking to take third place at the moment.
Yeah, I think the one to keep an eye on right now is Mid-Risky, who's looking very aggressive on the rear end of Das Patron. He's showed the nose a couple of times in the last few braking zones, so he's definitely looking to make his intentions known. As he shows the nose coming into the chicane again, so very intent on trying to get by Patron and getting up the field to join his teammates, Spence and Evil One in 4th and 5th, who are reeling in that gap to Corbin.
Well, all that battling with Daz Patron is helping Broken Spoke and Zedi stay on the tail of this long train at the moment, because going back from them, big gap, 5 seconds to Suit Lad, Jonesy and Untouchables, who have all come to grief so far during the race.
Yeah,
so another
and I
thing,
just quickly flicked through and saw Untouchables burning a penalty on the start-finish straight as well, so more bad luck for him.
well, they'll be starting well for race 2.
Yeah, most definitely.
So out at the front, Tate's still doing it easy. He's maintaining a 2.5 second lead there at the moment. Cloakade is extending the gap over Corbin, as Corbin comes under fire from Evil One at the moment, who is filling the back end of his car with that Milo livery, and his teammate in Spence following close behind.
Yeah, and those, Evil One getting a little uneasy coming into the hairpin there, and now he is right on the rear bumper of Corbin. Up for the run through the Schumacher S's here.
And you can be aggressive here in these 7-lap races because tyre wear is not really an issue. So these guys can be aggressive and throw it around and not have to worry about... Oh, and he's done it. He's pulled the move off on Corbin.
Beautiful move under brakes there from Evil One, and Corbin gets thrown back into the pack even more for good measure. Here's Spence trying to come at him as well, so I feel like Corbin is going to have a rough run defending. Just looking at his tyre wear, it is easily twice as bad as everyone around him. So, he got a run through that chicane though. He got a hell of a run through there, late on the brakes. Evil One going for the cutback on him.
Oh, can he hold it?
Oh, beautifully done. Slots in right in front of him with inches to spare. Hippo's got a great run out of there on Spence as well, so we might see him look for a move coming into turn 1. There he goes, pulling alongside, not late enough on the brakes there that time, as Spence almost meets Corbin's rear bumper for good measure.
Oh, I'm sure he gave him a little love tap going into that corner there just to say, hey, I'm here. Don't forget me.
Yep, this battle for third really starting to heat up now, as the pack behind has fallen off a little bit, and these guys have gotten even closer together.
Yeah, Hippo, this is making himself known at the rear of this pack as well. He's just giving Spence a little tap every now and then just to say, remind him that he's there.
Yep.
Oh, and close to another one there.
I think Hippo's he's trying to be patient here because he's seen Corbin's a little bit of the cork in the bottle, and he's given Spence a chance to try and move up rather than fighting him and taking them out of the fight. Oh, Spence goes wide through the hairpin, and Hippo thought about chucking the nose up the inside. He's got a great run out of the hairpin, has Spence, and we'll see if he can do something with it coming up the hill through the Schumacher S's here. Corbin defending the spot this time and then coming back across, so he's made his one defensive move there. One thing that's going to be dangerous for Spence here is since Corbin's tyre wear is so much worse, he's going to be slower through the apex of every corner, and he's going to be slower on the entry after braking. He's going to have to slow the car down so much more. So
here he goes.
Well, he's making a move here. He's moved up the inside. Corbin will stay. Should be able to get him under brakes, but this is a tough spot on the outside here. Oh, and he's pulled it. Yes, he has.
Yeah, this battling has brought Das Patron back into it as well, as he's now right on that rear bumper of Hippo. We'll see if Hippo can get something out of this final corner like we saw him try and do last time around on Spence. Now he has a shot at Corbin to move up the field.
Well, this is also bringing Zeedy and Broken Spoke, who are in the next battle group. It's bringing them up to it as well.
Oh, Corbin looking to take his spot back coming into turn 1. Spence takes the wide line and carries more speed through there, so Corbin definitely not letting himself be put out of this fight as he gets a bit of a slide on coming through that left-hander there.
And guys, back up in the lead of the race, Cloakade is taking time out on Tate now, so the lead is down to 1.6 seconds. It was as far out as 3 earlier. So Cloakade slowly bringing in tenths on that lead from Tate. But extending the lead over Evil One. So those two could be fighting for the lead by the end of the race if Cloakade can keep bringing in that gap. Evil One seems to have clear track, and then we've got that battle pack of, well, they're catching now. It'll be a battle pack
he's
before.
Hippo up the inside of the hairpin. Oh, Corbin had to drop the first gear to get it turned in around the outside, and there goes another spot. Corbin goes back further, and now he will be into the clutches of Das Patron. Another thing with Tate losing all that time now, he's in a similar situation to Corbin where his tyres are a lot worse than Cloacade's behind him, I believe due to being on controller as well, so that controller tyre wear will get you.
Yeah, some tracks it'll really bite you on, and this is obviously one of them as well, because I'm looking at Corbin's tyre wear and his is really struggling. He'll one lap to go. You would think that Das Patron will make that move at some point in the next lap.
Yeah, I think Corbin will be defending for his life here at the moment. You can see everyone that's up ahead of him has really kind of cleared out and just made distance. Another update just on the back end of the field, Mid-Risky has made a mistake somewhere and ended up back in 11th fighting with Suit Lad. So he's another Sunday Casuals driver who's had a bit of misfortune like Untouchables. Das Patron going up the inside of Corbin into turn 1 as well. Corbin fighting it back, trying to stay on the inside through this sweeping left-hander of the Mercedes-Benz Arena. He's going to have the inside for the next one, but he doesn't have enough of a run. Patron's giving him the space. Zeedy gives Patron a bit of a bump, a bit of a how you going, mate, and sends him with probably enough momentum to get by into this sweeping left-hander here.
But Corbin's not giving it up. But Patron is through. He needs to hold it, and he has.
Corbin just copped a shunt from Zeedy from behind as well, and he's run wide. Zeedy's almost lost it trying to avoid him. He's pulled out that aggressively to try and get the move done into the hairpin. Here we go, Zeedy looking up the inside.
And Broken Spoke will get through as well.
Poor Corbin has just been hung out to dry on those dirty tyres as well now.
This is a good recovery from Broken Spoke and Zeedy. They both had to come to grief early on, so it's been a good recovery for those two.
I believe we'll jump up with Tate now, as he's got about 30 seconds left to go of this race as he comes down onto the run to the chicane. He has been able to hold off Cloakade for the most part, that gap down to 9/10 of a second. Even with that really, really bad tyre wear that I can see coming into the final corner now. Runs a little wide, clips the apex nicely, and he's going to be our race 1 victor as he sweeps across to the right-hand side to take that checkered flag, closely followed by Cloakade, and Evil One claiming third with Spence closely behind.
Yeah, and then Hippo this, following in the 2 Milo cars. Das Patron's made it into 6th. Zeedy's made it up to 7th, with Broken Spoke as well, ahead of Corbin in 9th. Suit Lad's brought in 10th. Mid-Risky 11th, then Jonesy and Untouchables will round out our finishing order tonight. So Untouchables starting from pole in the second race. You would think he's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, Untouchables, Jonesy, and Mid Risky, the first 3 cars on the grid. That's going to be a tough one. So, yeah, that's. I mean, I feel like the big loser out of that has to be Corbin, who unfortunately his tyres just fell off towards the end of the race and could not defend.
Yeah, he had nothing really there towards the end with his tyres. There was a significant difference in wear on his tyres to the other guys around him, so it was inevitable that he was going to lose a number of positions there.
How are we with the total race time on that one, fellas? It was 14 minutes 35 seconds. How do you think that sits with the rest of wheel to wheel?
I think that's pretty good, because Tate was the one. He started up front. He had clear race the entire time. He wasn't battling. He didn't make any major mistakes. So I think that'll stand pretty well.
Yeah, I feel like it'll definitely stand up pretty well. I think the only thing that will throw him down a couple of notches is the fact that his tyres did start to fall off towards the end as well.
Yep.
Not as heavily as Corbin, or maybe he drove a little better on them worn tyres, but definitely probably cost him 4 or 5 seconds if I had to guess.
I think too.
Yeah, well,
it might be. Sorry, mate. I was just going to say. I think it might be for any of the Div 1 or first top split drivers watching, an example of how important your quality is going to be. That clear air that Tate had gave him that race, and I've seen it throughout the week as well. So I think a lot will be hinging on that quality in top split tonight.
Yeah, and if you just think Cloakade started in 3rd but got passed by Untouchables and had to get back by him, and it took him about a lap to do so. So if he didn't have to make up that spot and only had to get past Corbin, that battle could have been a lot closer for the lead come the end of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. This has certainly been the track where qualifying is the most important so far this season. Last time we raced the 86s was at Suzuka, and Suzuka presented quite a number of good overtaking opportunity. But here we're seeing it. You're even seeing them in positions through that left and right. I think it's the Schumacher section where you wouldn't expect anyone to be overtaking, but people are doing it on the outside there.
Yeah, definitely one of the benefits of the 86 is as you come through that Schumacher S is if you're in a Group 3, it'd be a slight lift if you were going through by yourself. If not, definitely a slight lift if you are directly behind a car. Whereas in the 86s, you can keep it pinned. It sweeps you through the corner really nicely, and you can get a run into the next braking zone as well. So.
Okay, so reverse grid. What's your pick, Super Dragon? Can you really go past Untouchables?
I mean, ZD's doing a good display of what the reverse grid is there in 3rd place as he goes backwards around the track. But no, I think...
we also have Jonesy starting on the front row.
So we've got Jonesy, Untouchables, Suit Lad, and Mid Risky, our top 4. If one of them don't take it home, I will be shocked, because those guys have shown amazing pace. They just got into some unfortunate incidents in that first race there. Untouchables and Jonesy having a coming together. Mid Risky, I believe, came off somewhere, and Suit Lad spinning behind Das Patron. So any of those guys, I reckon, can take it out.
Yeah, well, Untouchables finished nearly 30 seconds back. He was 29.2 seconds back off the leader.
A race to forget for him.
Yeah, certainly a race to forget. But that puts him then plus 15 minutes on that race time. So certainly the split 3 and split 4 guys, all they need to do now is a mistake-free race, and they're ahead of Untouchables, who... But he's a regular split 2 driver. Yeah,
he is. And really, CD is still driving backwards around the track. Sorry. But yeah, Untouchables he's been a little inconsistent this season. He's had some really good pace in some rounds, and he's just made some big mistakes. So this will be another round that he'll want to forget. But I feel like once you know that you're not going to get a score that's going to improve on your overall or something that you're not happy with, your goal is to take as many points away from the guys you're competing with. So starting on pole is definitely the opportunity that he's going to need, and he's going to probably want to take as many points away from the other guys in this lobby as possible.
Yeah, so turn 1, the 7-lap race now could be determined by who comes out of turn 1 and then that left and then left corner after that through the Mercedes section between our front 4 drivers.
Yeah, and reverse grid turn 1 also adds that little bit of extra excitement to it as well, as now Tate has taken the inspiration from ZD and is driving around the track in reverse as well. Here we go. We are away. So I reckon definitely keep an eye on those top 4 off the start here is going to be key.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who gets through that first section in the lead. And then it's really wait for them to make a mistake, whereas if they run like Tate did in the previous one, mistake-free, just saw him able to clear out.
Yep. And all of those beautiful Milo liveries visible from this start line shot here as we wait for the lights to go out. There we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, waiting for green, and they're away. I love how a big thing about how good of a start you get in these 86s, since there's not a lot of technique to getting off the line, is your reaction time. Is how quickly you can get off the brake or the handbrake.
So Untouchable's leading them into turn 1, and he's going to lead them out as well. We've got Midrisky and Jonesy arguing over who's getting second. Midrisky looks to have won that argument. And Broken Spoke in 4th, Suit Lad in 5th. Corbin up the inside of Daz Patron there for 6th, making his presence known early on. Daz Patron now in 7th. Hippo, this has got through, he's in 8th. Tate has moved up to 9th already.
Oh, the evil one swerving around in the back there, trying to look for any kind of opening to make this 3 wide. He thinks better of it, but my goodness, he did not want to sit behind these guys at all there. As he looks around the outside of Tate as well, while he's side by side with ZD. Tate also doing a similar thing, just looking for wherever room there is as Evil One and ZD are getting close together.
Whoa!
Oh, good on ZD for holding that, as Evil One comes in sideways to the hairpin as well.
And sideways out of the hairpin.
Yeah, wow. So not the start that Evil One and Spence would have wanted, but these guys will hold hands in those beautiful Milo liveries and get moving up through the field. Tate's still looking very aggressive.
Up in the lead, Untouchables has cleared out to a 1.3 second lead over his teammate Midrisky. And then the 213R boys. Yeah, the 213R boys in Jonesy and Broken Spoke all over the back of Midrisky.
Here comes Jonesy. Does he have enough to... No, he's backed out of the move. He's rolled out the throttle a little bit there, but I think Midrisky definitely playing rear gunner here for Untouchables, trying to buy him a bit of space. As Suit Lad and Broken
Suit Lad on the outside.
Corbin going up the inside of Suit Lad now after that battle throws Suit Lad wide through the final corner. Suit Lad's going to have more speed on the exit though, and it's not going to happen for Corbin. ZD and Tate side by side back there as well. ZD rolls off the throttle and lets Tate on by, but here comes Cloakade.
Suit Lad trying to put a move on Broken Spoke for 4th as well, but he's tucked it back in.
Cloakade sneaks by ZD as well, keeping in touch with Tate, who he was so close to at the end of the last race. So there is a whole lot of battling going on right now.
Tate making his way through the field, up to 9th after that first lap. Yes. Hippo, this is his next one in front of him, so he'll be looking to run him down. But Hippo, this is at the tail of a very long train at the moment.
Yeah, and I think around that 4-lap mark is where we'll see this train start to spread, just like last time. A couple of mistakes will come in, a couple of guys will get past who they who they've been trying to fight with the whole time, and so on. But Midrisky doing a beautiful job defending as he goes a little wide. Right as I say that, it's not going to be enough for Jonesy to get anything done on the exit of the hairpin, but he's brought Untouchables 2.3 seconds as Untouchables just runs away at the front of the field at the moment.
Yeah, look, he's making life easy for Untouchables, which is good team play. So out to 2.3 seconds lead at the moment. Those 13R boys would be chomping at the bit to get past this Milo car. They can't seem to be close enough at the right time to make the move on him at the moment.
Yeah,
so there is...
someone's out in the dirt.
Oh.
It is Hippo. Hippo's going to lose all of those spots there. Just I was about to say, Suitlad looking very aggressive on the rear bumper of Broken Spoke here, as well as Jonesy on the rear bumper of Mid. So we could see some moves coming through here as Midrisky gets very loose coming out of the chicane. Oh, he pushes wide. Jonesy's got a penalty. Oh, that's going to cost him hugely after starting on the front row. Half of it to burn. He's done. He's back on the power. There goes Corbin. Here comes Tate and Das Patron. He's going to lose out massive.
Suitlad's just made a move for third on Broken Spoke before the turn in.
Yeah, well, I believe they were 3 wide behind for a second there, and they're 3 wide again coming out of turn 1. So a bit of chaos starting to swell up back there. As I think Jonesy got hung out to dry and taken to the cleaners by everyone. Really, he's gone from, I believe, 3rd all the way back to 10th.
Yeah, well, Tate has moved up to 7th with that bit of shenanigans going on. So he's sitting at the moment behind Das Patron, and well and truly entrenched in that long train that is following behind Midrisky at the moment.
Yeah, I'd say Broken Spoke's probably doing well to hang on to the back of Suitlad at the moment, as Suitlad's look to have some really good pace. But Broken Spoke really showing that he's got the pace to be up in Div 2, and just behind him we have Patron looking for a move on Corbin as they run side by side out of the Schumacher S's again, and Tate decides to tuck in behind Corbin to see if he can follow him through. Patron's going to go around the outside, turns into the inside of the next corner. Oh, Clocade's sticking his nose up the inside of Tate behind them as well. Tate's out on the dirt.
Oh,
he's held on to that one. No, he's held on to that spin. He's going to drop a couple spots, but he's done really well to catch that on a controller.
Yeah, he's right in behind Jonesy now, back in 10th though.
So I think Clocade will be the one to watch in this pack now. We saw he had really, really good pace as he looks up the inside of Corbin coming out of the chicane into the final corner. Corbin just lets him go. No, he's gone for the cutback as Clocade's pushed wide through the corner. Evil One looking up the inside of Corbin. Now in the background we have... who is that? That is Spence looking alongside Zeddy as well. So the Sunday Casuals in their beautiful Milo liveries looking to move up the field. Whoa, Evil One touches the door at Clocade as well, coming through turn 1.
Oh, and Corbin right up the inside again. So a lot of battling going on for 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th place. And that's allowed Das Patron to get away from these guys. He's 1.2 seconds clear now, whereas he was under fire before. And he's all over the back of Broken Spoke, looking to make a position on him and get 4th. But Untouchables now out to a near 3.5 second lead. So Midrisky still playing that rear gunner role with Suitlad right on him now. Suitlad was good 1.5 seconds back. Go back a lap or two. So he's brought that gap down. Even if he got in front of Midrisky at this point, it's going to be hard to run down Untouchables.
Yeah, most definitely. And then you have back in 7th place that pack of cars that are absolutely just wanting to move up regardless of who it's past. So we've got Evil One leading that pack. Jonesy having a look up the inside here. We've got Corbin behind them, followed by Zeddy and Spence. Tate, whose tyres are probably falling off. Ooh, as Corbin hits the dirt, so does Spence. Spence is around.
No.
Oh,
Let's
it's
see if we
unfortunate for
can find
Spence.
Spence and see if we can bring up a replay on that one. So we've got Spence coming around. See if we can jump in with him. He's right there on ZD's backside. He's getting a bit close. At the moment, he's got no one behind him and all. He just takes it out wide and totally takes that sand. No one but himself to blame. Poor Spence, and knowing Spence, blame himself he will. So, yeah, unfortunate for that one.
Also,
And
we've had Mid-Risky make a mistake, and Suitlad has inherited second place. And
Yeah, Mid-Risky's gone back to fourth.
He's right
So
in that pack now.
He is, yeah. He's got Cloakade all over the back end of him now. Cloakade, who's battling with Daz Patron.
Who sticks his nose up the inside of that left-hander and gives Cloakade a bit of a how you going, reminds him that you're there. Jonesy right on the rear bumper of them too, who started so well but had that penalty to burn. So Jonesy will be wanting to move up and make these spots up as well.
Yeah, so apart from Untouchables, another round to forget for the Sunday Casuals, unfortunately. They've come to a bit of grief, but Hippo this had another moment through the S's, so he's dropped off this pack as well. And Spence now way back, unfortunately. But Untouchables out to a 3.5 second lead over Suitlad. That I wouldn't imagine that's going to change. Suitlad has a comfortable lead over Broken Spoke in third place.
Way.
He's doing amazing, yeah. This is his debut up into Split 2, so well done, Broken Spoke, showing that you have the pace to be there. But Mid-Risky, after making that mistake early on, is almost in the draft of Broken Spoke now, so he'll be putting the pressure on over these last 2 laps.
Yeah, closely behind them we have the pack from 5th to 7th of Cloakade, Patron and Jonesy. And then back behind them we have another pack of 4 cars involving Evil One, ZD, Tate, who's just taken a spot off of Corbin, and Corbin as well, obviously. So definitely some furious racing still to be had with 2 laps to go as we come around the final corner. I think Broken Spoke could be in a little bit of danger come the end of the race here, as that gap is starting to close down and he's got some very, very frustrated drivers behind him.
Yeah, he does. He's got Mid-Risky coming right up on him at the moment, so Broken Spoke's last lap was a 2:05.4 and Mid-Risky's was a 2:05.0, so about a half a second in pace between those two at the moment. With 2 laps to go, he is going to be all over him, provided he doesn't lose the position to Cloakade, who is causing trouble behind Mid-Risky as well.
Yeah, so we've got to remember Cloakade started second last. He started on the back row alongside Tate for this race and has fought his way all the way up to 5th so far, and is probably not looking to stop there in that beautiful Old Spice livery, but trying to take the spot off of Mid-Risky with the beautiful Milo livery.
But it doesn't end there, punters, because Daz Patron is right under the wing of Cloakade, and he's making a move. He's showing the nose.
Oh, he got on the power a little heavy there. Rear end stepped out on him. Lucky to catch that, but now he's got Jonesy for company right on his rear bumper as well for good measure.
And it just goes to show where you're really just waiting for that person to make that one error, but then they need to make that error in the right spot. Otherwise, you still can't get past them. Oh, Patron's gone wide. He'll get a penalty for that.
Yep. Jonesy will take that spot, I believe. No penalty.
No.
But
No,
Jonesy
got away
will
with
take
that.
that spot as he pulls alongside. It's going to turn into the outside for the chicane, but it looks like it's going to be done before that as Patron tucks back in and Jonesy continues on up the field.
Yeah, good move by Jonesy there. But Evil One now is the next one on Daz Patron's tail, but he has ZD showing the nose on him.
Yeah, ZD a bit of a quiet round so far, so he'll be looking to make some moves. I think he's been mid-pack the first race. He's about mid-pack or just at the bottom of it here. So I'll be expecting to see some good things from ZD in the final race as well, as he tries to go very deep around the outside of the beautiful Milo livery in turn 1.
Just so
Yeah,
you know,
takes-
Super
takes-
Dragon. Sorry, Devil Racer. Just so you know, there is a bit of a competition, possibly a drinking competition amongst the YouTube viewers at the moment. They're having a drink every time you say "beautiful Milo livery." I think you're going to get them pretty drunk by the end of this coverage.
Yeah, you might have noticed I've spiced it in there a couple of extra times through this race for good measure for him. So
Can we talk about that beautiful Milo livery? That beautiful Milo livery.
we're just checking
Stack
with
up the
Untouchables
drinks.
out in first, 5.4 seconds clear of anyone in that 86 with the beautiful Milo livery. That battle is on for third now as Mid-Risky in that beautiful Milo livery pulls alongside Broken Spoke. Clocade is going to take the spot off Mid-Risky there as trying to go around the outside of the Schumacher S's is a tough one. I know you appreciate it, Flossie. Stop lying, mate. But Broken Spoke doing a great job to defend this third spot, coming towards the closing stages of this race. Oh, as he dips some tyres out in the dirt, I might have put the curse on him. Clocade dipped a tyre as well, but he's still got a better run, as does Mid-Risky, as we send him 3 wide into the chicane, boys. Here we go. Oh, my goodness.
Mid-Risky, sideways
Jonesy!
through the entry.
Oh my God.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no, boys have lost
Jonesy's
that
got
massively.
around.
Oh, let's skip to the lead, and here he comes, Untouchables over the
Untouchables.
line.
Taking the
Well
race
done,
win, closely followed by Suit Lad, and Mid-Risky claiming that third. My
Yeah,
goodness.
well done. Mid-Risky won the battle through those S's. Daz Patron come in fourth. Well done, mate. Clocade for fifth. Evil 1 for seventh. And Zedi for seventh. And Tate followed up that, finished out that pack in eighth.
Oh, that was just hard luck for Jonesy, finishing out last in that after that awesome manoeuvre.
Oh man. I think he had a little bit of the same thing that caught Suit Lad out in race 1, where he clipped the rear bumper and tried to pull the car up to not send the other guy wide. But also Broken Spoke, the big loser out of that as well, going from 3rd to 9th with 2 corners to go.
Yep.
Oh, that was
heartbreaking
I think we might
for
be seeing
Broken
a
Spoke.
Stewards report going in
Yeah.
that one showing up in the Stewards report, possibly.
That was heartbreaking for Broken Spoke. He drove 6 3/4 laps absolutely perfectly, and then that last section has cost him 6 positions.
Yeah,
Wow.
wow, that was.
Also, just at the end, while that was all happening, Untouchables, who had a massive 5 or 6 second lead, he had a moment coming onto the back straight, and his lead of about 5 or 6 seconds dropped down to about 2. So he had a moment there that cost him about 4 seconds in overall race time. Didn't cost him a position, but about 4 seconds in overall race time there.
Yep. And just looking at this, it looks like we're going to have Jonesy again taking pole for the Enduro. So Jonesy and Spence off the front row. How do we think that's going to end up?
Oh, if it's anything to go by, it's going to be a beautiful, chaotic mess.
I want one of them to start on softs and one to start on mediums.
That was, wow. That is so unfortunate for the 13R guys. I think if the captain is watching, he'll be pulling whatever hair he has left out. Oh.
Yeah.
I think it'd be more like sobbing into his Wheat Bix. Yeah, it was a bit sad to watch that. Those boys were doing so well, and it's heartbreaking when that happens. But it is also, you would know yourself, Devil Racer, that is racing.
Yeah, it is, and look, it's part and parcel of it. You can Steve Bradbury it sometimes, and then other times you run a race perfectly for 99.5% of it, and that last little bit, that last 0.5% is what trips you up. And in this case, for Broken Spoke, it was the difference between 3rd and 9th.
Yeah, that's a beautiful way to put it too. Sometimes you are the Bradbury, and sometimes you get Bradbury. That's it, right
Yep.
there.
Yep. But Daz Patron showed his pace that time, finishing in 4th, only 6 seconds behind our leader.
Yeah, he did quite well. 14:44 Untouchables with a 14:37, so only 2 seconds slower than Tate's race 1 winning time. There, so
And he
really good pace from him.
Yeah, if he hadn't had that moment, he would have been 4 seconds quicker. There's no doubt about it. But we all have moments in racing; it's part of it. But so at the moment, you would say that 14:33, 14:32 is the standard to beat for the 7-lap race.
Yeah, I reckon if the top split guys can lead from pole and not have to fight, I reckon we could see a 29 or something in the high 20s, but that'd have to be with the circumstances permitting for them, and with how tough the racing is there, I doubt the chances of that happening are very high.
I did hear rumour of a 14:25 run during practice.
Oh gosh. Should see a few different strategies coming out. It looks like we've got about a 50-50 split from a quick count through the field of medium and soft runners. So it should be interesting off the start. Turn 1 could be a little chaotic, I guess you could say, with all of these guys starting shuffled because of all that chaos, the reverse grid, the different tyres. So it's definitely going to be a dangerous one, and if you can get through it clean, you'll be better off for it.
Well, our front 4 runners, Corbin is the only one on mediums at the moment, and it's probably a 4:10 run, so 4 on mediums and 10 on softs here. Some people are doing 11 on softs, some people are doing 12s.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of guys try and do a 7 and 7 with no fuel saving at all and just go as hard as you possibly can as well, which could be interesting to see depending on how fast your mediums fall off. But here we go into turn 1, take it away.
So Jonesy away, but Spence not giving him any room at the first corner and putting his nose up the inside. Jonesy will hold it as we go into turn 2.
Tate has come from 6th all the way up to 3rd as well off the start there, with Corbin looking up his inside into this left-hander. Tate very deep, almost taking out Spence in that beautiful Milo livery.
And Corbin maintaining 4th. He's on the mediums, so he's holding down 4th at the moment. If he can stay with these soft runner guys as long as possible, then he'll be one to watch towards the end of the race.
Yep. Who have we got on softs out of these lead packs, gents? I'd assume Jonesy and Spencer on softs?
Yeah, they're on softs, as is Tate.
Hippo is also on softs.
We've got Evil One, he's on mediums. Then we've got mediums for ZD. Softs for Cloakade.
Broken Spoke as well on the soft tyres, and then everyone else on the medium.
Yep. So there's a good split of strategy here at the moment, but Jonesy and Spence battling it out for the lead.
Yeah, and I know Spence is alright with me saying this, but in the past, Spence has struggled with following guys closely, and he said it's something that he really wants to work on. Well, now's your chance, big fella, because you are about a quarter of a second behind Jonesy, and with the chance to break away from the rest of the field early on here.
Yeah, and this first stint, that's exactly what they need to do. They don't need to battle. You're not going to win it in the first stint. It's going to come down to where you're positioned when you come out of the pits, and certainly over the last 4 laps. So if these guys can just head down, and with Tate put together some good laps, they need to gap away from Corbin, which he's already out of their slipstream. They need to get away from him because he's on mediums, and they need to put a lot of time on him now.
Corbin could come under fire from Hippo here, coming into turn 1. Hippo not fully going for it. Corbin left him plenty of space too. Hung out very wide. So Corbin might be picking up that Hippo is on the softs with the amount of extra speed he can carry through the corners. Behind them, ZD and Cloakade, nose to tail. Ooh, Cloakade just sticks the nose in under ZD's quarter panel there and almost turned him.
And ZD is on the mediums, so he'll be slowing down Cloakade as well. So we've got 2 packs at the moment. Oh, Hippo around the outside.
As is Cloakade just behind them, which turns into the inside for the next corner. ZD coming back through.
Oh, wow.
See you later, big fella.
Just
What a move
send
from
it.
ZD there.
Almost
Just
the
send it,
pass of the
ZD.
week so far.
Wow, that was a work of art there. He let Cloquet go deep on the softs and just sent it through on the apex of the corner, did Mr. ZD. And he'd love that. He loves a bit of hard racing, does ZD. Here comes Cloquet back at him, though, for good measure, going heavily defensive, not looking to give up any spots. It's ZD squeezing Cloquet right to the edge of the track, too, not giving him an inch. And you see that big pack lurking in the background, starting to gather up on the rear bumper here of ZD as well.
Yeah, it's becoming...
Patron trying to pull to the inside of the track to burn a penalty, almost spun himself across the front end of mid-risky there. That was quite dangerous. And we see 3 of the Sunday Casuals cars back here in their beautiful Milo liveries. Mid-risky, Untouchables, and Evil One all down at the back of the field here. So I believe they're all on the mediums, but
all
still
on mediums.
Not where they want to be.
I think Suit Lad wants a bite at Midrisky there. He's given it a red-hot go.
They're fully alongside here, that Miami Vice V Corsa 86 pulling time on mid-risky down the straight. And that's the position confirmed before you even come into the braking zone, easy as you'd like.
Guys out in the lead, Jonesy, Spence and Tate are just putting down laps. They've got near 3-second lead over Hippo now, who has got in front of Corbin. So Hippo on the softs, Corbin on the mediums. So Hippo looking to run down that front group. But Corbin has gone wide there, and oh no, he almost had... no, it must have been Cloquet that went wide. Sorry, Cloquet's gone wide. Corbin's got through,
So he went around the outside of ZD coming through that section and finally got clear of him. ZD was defending for his life. Now he's got another fight on his hands with Broken Spoke on the softs and ZD on their mediums. So should be very interesting here to see if ZD can try and hang on to the back of Cloquet a little bit, or if he's going to fall into the clutches of Broken Spoke, who's on them soft tyres.
Well, I think we'll see some of the medium drivers pit this lap, and I think we'll see the rest of them pit next lap. It'll be interesting to see who comes in this lap.
He's gone deep there as well.
Oh, he's gone very wide.
Do you think Tate and Corbin will pit this lap? Being on control of those two, do you think they'd be more of a 7-7 and just go for broke? Because it's going to be hard to get softs to travel 10 laps with a controller, surely. It's hard enough with the wheel.
Well, we saw how bad they were looking after the 7 laps, so they're definitely probably contenders for that 7-7 strategy. I would probably think that if we're going to see it happen, it'd be Corbin out of the two, but...
Untouchables into the pits, guys.
Touchy's in lap early. So 3 laps on them mediums for Untouchables. Getting out of this pack, probably get a bit of clean air. We've got Broken Spoke pulling alongside ZD to try and take 7th, coming into turn 1. Oh, ZD's closed the door on Broken Spoke. Ooh, he's lucky not to go around there. Broken Spoke was very nice to lift well out of that. And I believe we saw Cloquet trying to move on Corbin up ahead as well. So these boys definitely part of the same team, but fighting hard as Cloquet sweeps around the outside. Corbin has to burn a penalty. And that's going to throw him into the clutches of ZD and Broken Spoke here.
He's defending hard against ZD now. ZD's got the run on him coming into this left-right.
And we've seen how fast ZD can come through here as he pushes wide out onto the dirt. ZD's floating with danger there. He's dipped a tyre there a couple of times now. So our highest medium runner is still Corbin in 6th at the moment as well. So everyone ahead of him on the softs, our top 5. So not expecting to see them come in anytime soon. The only other soft runner that hasn't pit yet is Broken Spoke down in 8th, who has been fighting for his life to try and get past ZD, and ZD has not given anything up.
No, and this will really hamper Broken Spoke too. He needs to make the most of these soft tyres while he's got them. You would think that ZD's going to pit this lap. So that'll release Broken Spoke to then chase down Corbin, who's also on mediums. But he needs to start putting down some soft tyre laps while he's got them and not get stuck behind these guys.
Well, here we go. We'll see if any of them dive into the pits.
No.
It's not happening. Staying out. Looking back through the field. One guy is in. It is Patron. Das Patron in the pits after 4. So I think the only measuring stick we have to see how Patron's going is the gap from him to Untouchables when they both come out of the pits. But
Spoke's just taken
keep
2.
an eye on this.
He's taken Corbin and ZD at turn 1.
ZD's trying to come back.
Corbin's coming back.
Here comes ZD as well
They both
through the
got him.
inside. That's
That's
rough. Broken Spoke there.
Went a bit wide.
And now they have Suit Lad and Evil One for company close behind. So this is really unfortunate for Broken Spoke. And now you see ZD and Corbin absolutely fighting tooth and nail for this spot. Corbin carrying a lot more speed through that corner than ZD. ZD deciding to stick it to the left for the next right-hander to get a better line and a better run down to the hairpin, which they've got pretty much an identical exit there as well, so it hasn't helped him, it hasn't really hurt him. He looks to stick his nose up the inside, thinks better of it, does ZD, but that pack behind him is definitely closing in as we come towards about the halfway point of lap 5.
Yeah, you'd definitely expect a few of these guys in this train to pit this lap now, which I'd expect to see Corbin and ZD for certain in, which will hopefully then release Broken Spoke to do some unfettered laps. But,
oh, here comes ZD on the inside of Corbin. Oh, he's got a bump from Broken Spoke too. These boys are going to be side by side into the chicane, and close behind them, Suit Lad and Evil One are going to be side by side as well. ZD's going to take the spot before the chicane. Evil One going very, very late on the brakes. That might be a bit of a push-to-pass manoeuvre there, as we see ZD duck into the pits, followed by Suit Lad and Midrisky, who had to jostle for position on pit entry. So these boys are definitely fighting for sheep stations out here. They're fighting for absolutely everything they got.
Guys, back up in the lead, the train of Jonesy, Spence and Tate has remained unchanged. Tate has dropped off that little leading gap by about 2.5 seconds now as his tyres wear down.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, yep. But Jonesy and Spence within a second of each other, just running mistake-free and making the most of their softs. Hippo, this has been slowly catching Tate as each lap goes by now, so he'll be looking to move into third at some point in the next couple of laps, or make a move at least. And then Cloakade is our last soft runner out of that leading group in 5th, with Evil One still running around on mediums.
Yeah, and an interesting thing to note there as well is Cloakade was stuck behind ZD for a fair few laps there, with ZD defending really hard. So he would probably be a lot closer to Hippo and Tate if he'd been able to get past ZD a little sooner. So ZD playing his part on the mediums, trying to disrupt the guys on the softs and make it so their soft run isn't as worth it as they would hope.
Yeah, well, Evil One now in 6th. He's got a bit of a gap. He's got a second lead over Corbin, and he's got 7 seconds to Cloakade, so he's got a bit of free air at the moment. I would expect him to be actually pitting now. I'm surprised he's gone this long.
Broken Spoke had a really good run on Corbin there, but went for a bump instead.
Yeah, Corbin and Broken Spoke are having a good battle there. Broken Spoke's still on those stuck behind medium runners on the softs.
Is anyone coming in? There's Evil One. Corbin staying out, looking like he is going for that 7-7 split, which we expected to see out of him on those with that controller tyre wear. Looks like
It'll be interesting
Untouchables
to
and
see
CD
where.
are nice and close as well in 9th and 10th. Apologies for cutting you off.
Yeah, well, they're our effective race leaders, you could almost say it. They're the first of the people that have already pitted. Though Untouchables and ZD running very close together at the moment. If they're going to be battling, it's going to cost them time. But behind them, Daz Patron effectively in third. And Suit Lad and Midrisky
coming out here. Here comes Mid. So these Sunday Casuals drivers coming out side by side into turn 1 in their, guess what, beautiful Milo liveries. Hope some boys are getting tipsy out there by now. But the Sunday Casuals definitely dominating this field, and looking up the field, actually, Hippo in 4th place, right on that rear bumper at Tate. So he's made up about 7/10 as Tate's tyres have fallen off a fair bit. It'll be interesting to see if Tate also goes for that 7 and 7 option. Hippo showing the nose, Tate giving nothing for it.
Yeah, so Hippo could get a, or you'd almost call it a reverse undercut, because Tate will need to pit soon, and Hippo will continue on with his softs. So he could pass him in the pits here by doing those extra few laps on his softs. He won't have to overtake him on the track.
Yeah, we'll see here coming towards the end of lap 7. If Tate is going to decide to split it down the middle, now's the time to do so. He's staying out. We'll jump... Yeah, we'll jump on with Corbin and see if he decides to go otherwise. Oh, I just saw Broken Spoke look to pull on the inside there and just give Corbin a tap. Here he is coming into the pit, so Corbin going for that 7 and 7 split here. Oh, you see him just understeering through the pit entry as well. That looks so incredibly painful on those worn tyres. I think we can jump back with Tate and Hippo here. I can't believe Tate's going again with how his tyres are looking. For a bit of reference, for those of you at home, Tate's tyres are probably about 35% worn, whereas Hippo's are probably approaching the 20% worn area.
And he could be making a move. Oh, no, thought better of it. Staying there, no. Like certainly the difference in pace here is very evident now with that tyre wear. Hippo is putting all sorts of pressure on the back end of Tate. But up in the lead of the race, Jonesy has slipped out to a 1.9 second lead now, making the most of this soft tyre run. Spence in that beautiful Milo livery in second place, and well clear of the battle pack of Tate and Hippo at the moment.
Yeah, and Jonesy will absolutely be loving this clear running after the chaos that has ensued pretty much everywhere he's been in the first 2 races. Hippo is right on that rear bumper at Tate still too, 1.5 tenths behind him. Tate got a penalty there as well, so there goes Hippo free to charge on. And will Cloquet be able to make anything of this after Tate's had to burn that penalty? Is closing in at a rate of knots. It's not going to happen into the braking zone here. So now Cloquet right on that rear bumper at Tate with a lot better tyres. There he is, Tate's in the pits. So he's stretched it for an extra lap. Oh, he's even clipped the wall on the entry to the pits there with all the understeer he's getting.
Well, Untouchables at the moment, 38 seconds off the lead. If we look, I believe the pit stop here is around the 34 second mark, so Untouchables has a bit of time still to make up on Jonesy if he wants to retain or make a move, be able to make a move on Jonesy after he pits.
I don't know if you can get a replay, Dodgy, but Corbin and Evil One just had it coming together in the chicane there.
Let me see if I can find him.
Has lost out pretty massively there, back down in 13th now.
Let's see what we can do. So we've got, Corbin behind Evil One. He goes out for the pass. He's got the inside run into the chicane. Oh, and Evil One does try to close the door while Corbin stays up there, and they actually come together on the exit as well. So the exit is what sends Corbin off. It's one for the stewards again for that one, I dare say.
Yeah, I believe there was contact on the entry of the corner and the exit, unfortunately, there, so a little sloppy
guys,
from these boys, but...
Back on the track, the action is for 6th at the moment. Oh, and yeah, Untouchable's just giving him a nudge there on the inside, and it's moved up into 6th now.
ZD licking his lips here too.
Well, Untouchables is coming through on soft tyres, whereas Tate's just moved onto the mediums. So there's going to be a big speed difference between these guys, and ZD's bringing it home on the softs.
Yeah, so ZD's in a bit of a reverse role now, stuck behind the medium runner, rather than being the medium runner with the guy on soft stuck behind him, as Jonesy pits at the end of lap 9 from first position. So we'll stay on with this this battle for 6th here, and we'll see where they come out in terms of Jonesy and Cloquet. Spence and Hippo going around again though, as is Broken Spoke. So still got a couple of guys not to pit.
As long as Tate can stay on the tail end of Untouchables or ZD on these mediums, he can do laps as good as the soft tyres if he can stay on the back end of them. So he'll continue to get a bit of help from the slipstream. It's not huge, but he'll continue to get a bit of help from the slipstream to help him keep pace with these soft runner guys now. Yep,
and Jonesy's already out the pits, so he has a pretty hefty lead, and there's Cloquet there exiting the pits. He's going to get passed by all 3 of these drivers and pull in right behind ZD. Untouchable's very wide through turn 1. Tate getting some oversteer on the exit of it as well, so it's all popping off here.
Oh, Tate showing his nose, but thought better of it.
So that gap from Untouchables to Jonesy is almost 8 seconds, and Untouchables on some wearing soft tyres after pitting on lap 3. ZD looking around the outside of Tate here. Gonna give him the inside for this left-hander. Can Tate hold it around the outside? Oh, he's gonna be able to.
Oh, yes, he can.
So ZD getting a bit of karma coming back at him. Oh, here he goes. Tate's out on the sand. I think there might have been a little bit of assistance. I think there might have been some assistance there.
I think he did get some help there.
Here comes Patron to pass Tate as well. Whoa, very, very late under brakes there. Did well to avoid him. Did
Suitlad as well.
Tate with them dirty tyres too. Dirty medium tyres versus some fresh softs from all these boys. It's gotten a nice run with a bit of helpful suck from Patron, as we see Spence duck into the pits at the end of lap 10, followed by Hippo as well. So the last of our soft runners coming in is Broken Spoke going to follow suit. No, he's staying out one more time, is Broken Spoke. His fuel consumption is looking great too. He's got about 5% more than Spence and Hippo still.
It is a weird thing with that car. Spoke is really good. He's in auto with that car. He cannot drive a manual, and for some reason he manages to save a lot of fuel in it. So it's maybe the one perk to having the auto.
Yeah, wow. As we see Spence coming out of the pits just behind Jonesy, about half a second on them medium tyres. Now Jonesy's going to have some nice warm mediums, whereas Spence is going to be on some things that look like they just came out of the freezer. As is Hippo emerging in 4th right in front of this massive battle pack that we have forming, with Untouchables, ZD and Cloquet, and then closely followed by Patron, Tate and Suitlad. So it is all starting to gather up in the mid-pack here.
Yeah, so with the exception of Broken Spoke, who hasn't made his pit stop yet, we have Jonesy, Spence and Hippo both on brand new mediums, and they can abuse those tyres over these last few laps. It's not going to matter. Untouchables.
Got a really nice run on him, actually.
Untouchables is only 3/10 off Hippo now, so he'll be looking to make a move, but Untouchables' tyres have had some wear because he pitted first. He pitted after 3 laps. So he's done a long run on these softs.
Yep, and luckily for Untouchables, as his tyres look pretty good considering they're 8 laps old. and the advantage is not going to get more for these guys that are on softs behind him because they only pitted 2 or 3 laps behind. So it's going to be a similar advantage throughout the whole thing. But I think Jonesy and Spence, if they can stay mistake-free, Spence actually gaining really close to the back of Jonesy. If they can stay mistake-free, I think they've got a pretty easy 1-2 here.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
here comes Spence. Spence looking up the inside into the final corner as Broken Spoke ducks in for the final pit stop of the race. Jonesy looking to get for the cutback and get up the inside into turn 1, and he's going to be able to do that as well. He's got a bit of an overspeed here.
He's not fighting him though. He's letting him go. And I'll get back in your draft. And yep.
Here we go. Spence later on the brakes, knows he's going around the outside, so you may as well brake that a little bit later, carry a bit more speed. He's going to have the inside for this left-hander, for the next 2 left-handers. Going to be a lot from Jonesy to be able to take it around the outside there. Looks like Broken Spoke has emerged in 11th place, unfortunately, but that's an amazing effort on them soft tyres to go 11 laps there. Jonesy looking very loose on the mediums for the lead as well.
Yeah, these guys look like they're going to battle it out over these last few laps. They've gone, no, we've got a 6-second lead. That's plenty. We can battle and have fun here. And they're driving each other pretty hard at the moment.
Oh,
yeah,
hold it, Jonesy.
Benefiting them as well, Untouchables is going to be fighting with Hippo. So that 6 seconds lead, it's not going to just immediately drop when these boys start fighting, because Untouchables is fighting to get the move done on Hippo. But do his soft tyres have enough in them to get past the fresh mediums of Hippo, or is Hippo going to claim that 3rd spot?
Yeah, well, there's not a significant difference in lap time between fresh mediums and fresh softs around here. It's about 1 to 1.5 seconds. So worn softs versus fresh mediums, there's going to be even less in it.
Yeah, it does look like he's got a little more speed through the mid corner, but has to brake a little more. Oh, Hippo's taken some dirt with him there for good measure as well, and moves to the middle of the track to break a little bit of slipstream, so might be looking in his rear views a bit more. Spence also has checked out at the front with 2.6 seconds over Jonesy now, who looks to be struggling on the medium tyres. Oh, Hippo gets loose on the exit of the chicane too.
Yep, he's got this
Untouchables has picked up a 1 second penalty due to that.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Here we go, so he's going to lose that spot to ZD, to Clocade, and possibly to Suit Lad come turn 1 here. If he can't get back up to speed in time. That gap to Suit Lad closing. I don't think it's going to be enough for Suit to take the spot off of Untouchables into turn 1 though. No,
he'll hold 6th there.
So a bit of breathing room now for Hippo, as now ZD and Clocade in the same boat as Untouchables and Hippo were. ZD on the worn softs, Clocade on some fresher mediums. So we'll see who can make. Oh my goodness! I've just jumped on board with Jonesy, and he looks like he's living the wildest ride of his life on these medium tyres right now. He is pushing very hard to close down that gap to Spence, and he's running wide. He's cutting dirt. He's getting loose on corner exit. There is a lot going on in that cockpit for Jonesy right now.
So the battle between ZD in 4th on those aging softs and Clocade in 5th on those new mediums. Tell me, if at this point you could jump into any one of those cars, which one's it going to be, Super Dragon?
I'm thinking I want to be on the worn softs. I found I prefer to be driving on the older tyres than the slower tyres, than the slower compound.
Yep.
As you've kind of, you've warmed into them at this point. You're 8 or 9 laps into them. You've slowly adjusted to them, and you can get your pace still. You can still hit similar braking markers and so on. So I feel like I want to be on them worn softs.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there. But just behind them guys, battle for 7th, Untouchables. Suit Lad's just made a move on him, but he's stuck on the outside of the next flip-flop, and no, he's made it.
Oh, the run!
It's all on. Suit Lad back up the inside.
Untouchables has got an amazing run through that chicane. My goodness.
Untouchables.
Suitlad's getting the cutback on him on the start-finish straight here to start the final lap, but what a run Untouchables got there. Bit of a setback for BML Racing. Yeah, the beautiful Milo liveries. You're absolutely right, Gitman. A bit of a setback for those boys. I think these are definitely the battles to keep an eye on here. ZD and Cloakade and Suit and Untouchables are definitely our battles at the moment to finish off this race with Spence, Jonesy and Hippo clearing out at the lead.
Yeah, and ZD's doing everything he can to hold off Cloakade at the moment. Cloakade is all over him.
Untouchables went a bit wide there. Suitlad might have him, not quite.
So we're going to try and keep an eye on each of these battles as we come through this final lap here. Untouchable's very wide, and Suitlad's going to take that spot there as well as they come through that right-hander. He dipped a tyre out onto the dirt and went very, very wide. Here comes Cloakade on ZD as well.
Cloacade's got a run here.
He's giving him a bump.
They're dodging.
He's giving him.
Gives him the flash.
Cloakade not happy about sitting behind ZD here. This is where he found himself losing a bunch of time on the softs as well when ZD was on those medium tyres, but those mediums of Cloakade definitely looking better at this point. Here he goes up the inside. He's going to send it. ZD closes the door on him.
He definitely sent it then, guys. He got right up beside him there.
He sent it, and ZD was having none of it. He said, "You get right back where you were, mate.
This is his
last
chance. This is his last chance, and he's going again. No!
He's pushed ZD off the track. As we have Spence coming across the line to claim our race 3 victory. Very good drive from Spence. Jonesy in second, taking the beautiful second podium spot, and Hippo claiming third. ZD's holding on to fourth, Cloakade fifth, Suitlad sixth, Untouchable seventh, Patron eighth. Take it away, Queensland Devil Racer.
Yeah, look, and then Tate's brought it home in ninth, Evil One in 10th, Broken Spoke has dropped down to 11th, Corbin in 12th, and Midrisky in that beautiful Milo livery will round out the field.
Yeah, and even though Broken Spoke came home in 11th there, that was an awesome drive on his part as well, to be the longest soft runner and to just race his own race, even though he was getting hampered by a couple of guys on mediums in the mid part of it.
So interesting strategies in that third race. There was a definite split, almost 50-50 between who started on softs, who started on mediums, and it was interesting to watch it play out. Untouchables really fast as he did that short stint on mediums, and was certainly making his presence known, but I think he just ran out of tyre with the soft stint being too long.
Yeah, and of course Spence bringing it home in first for the Sunday Casuals in that beautiful Milo livery. Had to get one more in there. It's awesome job there by Spence to bring it home for the Sunday Casuals. Corbin not happy about the driving. Cloakade not happy about his driving. So there's some. I reckon we'll see some incident reports going in for this one.
Like I think all in all that was pretty good though. There was good hard battling going on, but there wasn't a lot of certainly a lot of eyebrow raising moments. Put it that way. It was fair hard racing.
Absolutely. I might take a quick moment, fellas, to just mention our sponsors that are with us this season. Following us again for the second season this year, we've got Next Level Racing, Pagnian Imports, Future Streetwear from Melbourne, and Races from up at QR Raceways. So all four of them are just awesome sponsors for the league and great partners, and we hope to see more from them in the future.
Absolutely. Big thank you to those guys, and a big thank you to Queensland Devil and Dodgy for joining me here in the commentary box for that Split 2 action. Yeah,
thanks Super Dragon. It's been fun joining you tonight.
Cheers, fellas. It has been great. Hope you have a great night.
Absolutely. And we'll see you guys in about 20 minutes for the Top Split stream, hopefully.
Sounds good. See you then.